making way for a very happy Sinhala and Tamil New Year.
The news headlines on Gold FM.
Good evening, you're listening to the news in detail on Gold FM. In your news headlines, no water cuts during the new year. Gazette issued on emergency importation of rice varieties. GMOA to launch strike again tomorrow. 147 foreign nationals arrested in Chilau. World food price to continue if war lasts.
The top story on Gold FM.
Government doctors across the island will launch an island-wide strike at 8 am tomorrow to protest alleged illegal transfers of medical officers. The Government Medical Officers Association announced the action following a series of token strikes held earlier this week. The Central Committee of the Union is set to meet tomorrow to determine if the work stoppage will extend indefinitely. Media spokesperson Dr. Chamil Vijay-Singh warned that the union intends to intensify protests if the state fails to address their grievances. In response to the escalating crisis, the Minister of Health, Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa, stated that the government remains committed to implementing the formal transfer mechanism by May. The minister noted that approximately 6,000 doctors face transfers starting next month, a process designed to ensure fairness for those previously treated unjustly. Now, despite these assurances, the union maintains that the current administrative moves violate established protocols.
This is the local news on Gold FM.
The National Water Supply and Drainage Board announced a reduction in the duration of scheduled water cuts across the Colombo district. Residents in Padukka, Homagama, Palanvatta and Pannipitiya now face a maximum of 18 hours without supply, down from the previously planned 24-hour disruptions. Officials confirm that scheduled dates and locations remain unchanged despite this time reduction. In a significant move for the New Year period, the board pledges an uninterrupted water supply for all areas between the 11th and the 14th of April. Consumers will receive specific details regarding these disruptions via text message. The initial phase of the rationing scheme commenced in Padukka last night, with further suspension set for Homagama tonight and Pailanvatta tomorrow. Existing 3-hour nightly restrictions in Pattaramulla, Pamankada, Vallavatta and Navala continue on an every other day basis. Chairman Chandana Bandara states these measures remain necessary to manage current demand. A Gazette notification was issued allowing the importation of GR11 rice, including varieties such as Ponni Samba and Kiri Pal Ponni, as temporary measures to ease the current shortage of Samba and Kiri Samba rice in the country. The directive was authorized by President Anura Kumara Dissanayake. According to the notification, licensed importers are permitted to bring in these rice varieties from the 2nd to the 30th of April. All imported stocks must be cleared from customs on or before 31st of May. Each import is limited to a maximum import quantity of 1,040 metric tons. Now, meanwhile, the Department of Agrarian Development stated agrarian service centres will remain open on weekends and all holidays to facilitate fertilizer distribution for the Yala paddy cultivation season. The Electricity Users Association is warning that senior officials from the Ceylon Electricity Board submitted a request to the President to increase electricity tariffs by 50%. National Secretary Sanjeeva Dhammika urged the public to remain vigilant regarding their potential hike during a press conference in Colombo. This development follows a recent decision by the PUCSL or the Public Utilities Commission to allow tariff increases by the use of units from the 1st of the month. Pivitru reader Udaya Gammampila claims a forged copy of his book identifying the Easter Sunday attack mastermind is circulating via the platform WhatsApp. Speaking at a press conference in Colombo today, the party leader warned the public regarding the digital spread of this unauthorized version. He alerted authorities to the fraudulent document and some strong allegations on how the document was leaked came along with the warning.
මගේ කෙටුම්පත අවස්ථා තුනකදී පාර්ශවයන් තුන්දෙනෙකුට ලබා දුන්නා. පළමු එක ලබා දුන්නේ හිටපු බුද්ධ්‍යංශ ප්‍රධානී සුරේෂ් සලේ මහතා. ඒ බුද්ධි මෙහෙයුම් ගැන මේ පොතේ සඳහන් වෙලා තිබෙන නිසා ඔහුගේ අදහස ලබා ගන්න. දෙවෙනි පොත මම ලබා දුන්නේ මහාචාර්ය රෝහන් ගුණරත්නට පෙරවදනක් ලියවා ගන්න. තුන්වෙනි කෙටුම්පත මම ලබා දුන්නේ මගේ මුද්‍රණකරු වන ප්‍රකාශකයන්. එතකොට මේ පොත් තුන දෙන්නේ අවස්ථා තුනකදී. සුරේෂ් සලේ මහතාව අත්අඩංගුවට ගත්තට පස්සේ රාජ් පොලිසියේ නිලධාරීන් මැදනි හිටි ව්‍යංගයෙන් විමසුවා මගේ පොතකෝ කියලා. අපි කතා කරපු sannivedanayen දැනුම් දුන්නා. ඔහුගේ වාහනේ තිබුණු ඔහුගේ ගමන් මල්ලේ තමයි පොත තිබුණේ. ඒ දැන් තියෙන්නේ රාජ් පොලිසියේ බාරේ කියලා. ව්‍යාජ පොත සකස් කරන්න භාවිතා කරලා තියෙන්නේ සුරේෂ් සලේ මහතා ගාව තිබ්බ කෙටුම්පත පදනම් කරගෙන. රාජ් පොලිසිය විසින් බුද්ධිමය දේපලක් හොරකම් කරලා එක පැත්තකින් අනිත් පැත්තෙන් රාජ් පොලිසිය විසින් ව්‍යාජ පොතක් නැත්තම් කූට ලේඛනයක් සකස් කරලා මේ දිනවල WhatsApp සමාජ මාධ්‍ය වල පාස්කු ප්‍රාරේ මහමොලකරු සොයායෑම නමින් සංසරණය වෙන PDF පොත මා නිකුත් කළ පොත නෙවෙයි. ඒක කූට ලේඛනයක්. කූට ලේඛන සැකසීම වසර 3ක සිර දඬුවම් ලැබිය හැකි වරදක්. සුරේෂ් සලේ මහතාට පොත යවනකොට පොතේ 70%ක්වත් සම්පූර්ණ නැහැ. සුරේෂ් සලේ මහතා මගේ කාර්යාලයට ඇවිල්ලා තමයි පිටපත ගන්න. ඊළඟට මුද්‍රණකරුටත් පෙන් ඩ්‍රයිව් එක දාලා අපි එතනට ගිහිල්ලා දුන්නා මිසක් අපි විද්‍යුත් මාධ්‍ය හරහා එව්වේ මේ පොත් තුනක්. අර ව්‍යාජ පොතට භාවිතා කරලා තියෙන්නේ මොන එකද කියන එක අර පොතේ තියෙන කරුණු අනුව අපිට තේරුම් ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ නිසා තමයි බය නැතුව ඇඟිල්ල දික් කරන්නේ. මෙහි වගකීම් යුක්තා ශානි අබේසේකර මහතාය.
මහා මොලකරු පොත ඔබතුමා දාද්දී මේ අන්න සජපේ මොල කනවා.
මේකෙන් රාජපක්ෂවරු බේරෙනවා කියලා රණවිරුවන් බේරෙන එක අත්හරිනවා නම් දේශද්‍රෝහීකම. ආණ්ඩුව මොකක් හරි බොරුවක් කරනවා නම් ජනතාව රැවටීමට ප්‍රෝඩාවක් කරනවා නම් ප්‍රධාන විපක්ෂයේ වගකීම වෙන්නේ ඒ ප්‍රෝඩාව හෙළිකිරීම මිස නියඬතාවයෙන් ආණ්ඩුවට සහාය ලබා දීම නෙවෙයි.
නලින් බණ්ඩාර මහත්තයා කියලා තිබේ සජිත් මහත්තයට AI වලින් හදලා ගියා.
පිට ඔසවා පන්දු නිදැල්ල යන්න ඉඩ හරිනවා.
In more local news, Minister of Transport and Highways Bimal Ratnayaka, who is currently participating in the International Transport and Logistics Forum in St. Petersburg, Russia, revealed that there are plans for investments of up to $10 billion towards the transport sector in the next 3 years.
We are ready to work with this Eurasian framework. I think we can start from this aviation and maritime sector, and we will invest on behalf of Sri Lankan government $8 to $10 billion within next 3 years for transport infrastructure. We will start 2 new ports, and we are going to invite the private companies of international companies to come and operate in one of our main airport. So we are open to work with the friendly nations who respect sovereignty, who recognize the reputation of other countries.
Now moving on in more local news, police arrested a 35-year-old former army soldier from Unawatuna following a double homicide incident inside a residence in Telikada Gaol. Officers discovered a man and 2 women with severe slash wounds after receiving a distress call to the emergency hotline early this morning. A 73-year-old woman and a 35-year-old man died from the injuries, while a third woman remains in critical condition in the intensive care unit at the Gaol National Hospital. Investigators revealed that the suspect is the husband of a woman currently working abroad, and he allegedly attacked his mother-in-law and the other victim due to ongoing family grievances. The suspect reportedly confessed to the killings, claiming the family prevented him from living peacefully with his wife. Colombo Crime Division officers arrested 147 foreign nationals during a targeted operation at a hotel in the Ambakadavilla and Iranavilla areas of Chilao. Those taken into custody include Chinese, Malaysian and Vietnamese citizens suspected of involvement in large-scale online financial scams. Police reports confirm 2 Chinese nationals sustained injuries while attempting to flee the scene and are currently receiving treatment at the Chilao District General Hospital. Investigators seized a significant cache of equipment during the raid, including 143 laptops, 120 desktop units and 370 mobile phones.
Now for some news in brief.
The Department of Meteorology warned that thunder showers with severe lightning are likely in parts of the Western Province, Sabaragamuwa Province, Central Province, Northwestern Province, North Central Uva provinces and the districts of Trincomalee, Vaunia, Mana and Mullaitivu.
The business news on Gold FM.
Global energy markets witnessed a dramatic spike in crude prices today as the supply concerns intensified. Brent crude climbed nearly 8% to reach $109, while West Texas Intermediate crude climbed over 11% to settle at $111.05. This sudden increase places further pressure on global inflation rates and energy security frameworks. Elon Musk's SpaceX entered discussions with Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund regarding a potential $5 billion anchor stake in the space firm's upcoming stock market debut. Sources familiar with the matter indicate the investment serves to prevent dilution of the fund's existing holding, which sits at just under 1%. The rocket manufacturer aims to raise a record $75 billion, a figure set to eclipse previous major offerings from Saudi Aramco and Alibaba. While the company gauges investor interest for the unprecedented deal, no final decision has emerged from the confidential negotiations. The Saudi fund previously collaborated with the AI venture XAI to deploy significant data center capacity within the region.
International news on Gold FM.
Israeli forces have struck a major bridge in Iran, with US President Donald Trump posting video footage of the attack and warning of further destructions to come. The strike targeted a large under-construction bridge in the Karaj area west of Tehran, reportedly cutting it in half and killing at least 8 people, according to local officials. Trump described the operation as a part of an escalating pressure on Iran, stating, quote, "Bridges next, then electric power plants," unquote, and urging the new Iranian leadership to reach a deal, quote, "before it's too late," unquote. In response, Iran launched fresh waves of ballistic missiles towards Israel in the past 12 hours, including a significant salvo of around 10 missiles targeting central areas near Tel Aviv. Israeli defenses intercepted most projectiles, but cluster munitions and debris caused injuries and damage in residential zones. In the meantime, sirens sounded across multiple Israeli cities and explosions were heard in urban areas. On the Lebanese front, Israeli operations continued with strikes on infrastructure linked to Hezbollah supply lines, while the Iranian ambassador designated in Beirut, previously declared persona non grata, has reportedly refused to leave the country despite the expulsion order. The Strait of Hormuz remains heavily restricted, with limited commercial shipping and ongoing Iranian enforcement measures keeping most vessels at a standstill or forcing detours. Energy prices stayed elevated amid the uncertainty, as we reported. Meanwhile, the Food and Agriculture Organization reported global food prices rose 2.4% in March, reaching their highest levels since September, driven mainly by higher energy prices and oil prices. Chief economist Maximo Toreno warned prolonged Middle Eastern tensions could raise fertilizer costs, leading farmers to reduce planting and affecting future food quality.
Entertainment news on Gold FM.
The Super Mario Galaxy movie set a new global benchmark for animated cinema, earning $68.4 million on its opening. This figure includes nearly $34 million from 78 international markets, outpacing the initial release of the first film in the franchise. Ticket sales across Europe and Latin America remain robust, as the legacy of the console gaming series continues to drive audience engagement at the box office.
Sports news on Gold FM.
Chelsea midfielder Enzo Fernandez faces a 2-match suspension after manager Liam Rosselló stated that the player breached the club's internal culture with public comments regarding his future. The Argentine international expressed uncertainty about remaining at Stamford Bridge during a recent interview following the team's exit from the Champions League. Consequently, the 25-year-old remains excluded from the squad for the upcoming FA Cup quarter-final against Port Vale and the league clash against Manchester City. That's all the news for now. Stay tuned to Gold FM for the latest updates.